Oh my goodness. Higher insight, everyone. Oh my goodness. Peace and greetings, everyone. Welcome on in. Give me just a moment. I'm going to get myself together here, but I want to welcome you all in. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I just want to welcome you on into the cipher tonight. How are you feeling? How are you doing? I wanted to come on, today kind of got away from me a little bit. I don't know about you all, but today kind of got away from me a little bit. And for some reason, I don't know, I was feeling like we had a little bit more time before we got ready to move into um, and to getting close to May the 1st, or even getting close to um, the end of the month. I felt like we had like a whole nother month to go. But in fact, that is not the case. And so today, actually, as I'm broadcasting, it is Monday, April the 27th at April the 27th, right? The year 2026. And I want to go ahead and just kind of note that and make a note to self as we get ready to get started. But welcome to everyone in the building. Welcome to the visionaries in the building. How are you all feeling? Let me know where you're all tuning in from, where you're checking in from, what part of the world you're tuning in from, what continent you're tuning in from, that kind of good stuff. And also for those who are in the blue room, let me know if you can hear me okay. Someone put a comment that the sound is coming in low. And I want to make sure that you all can hear me nice and loud and clear as we get ready to go through a few things. But welcome to everyone, and welcome on in. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle. We're going to get started here in just a moment. And yeah, make sure that you all can definitely, that you can hear me okay. So welcome on in. Also, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Yeah, let's do that. Let's definitely do that. Okay. Greetings, Lola Falana. Lola Falana said, we can hear you. We can hear you. The sound is good to you. Well, that's good. Good to know that the sound is good to you. So how are you feeling? How are you doing? Oh my goodness. How are you feeling? How are you doing? And welcome on in. Thank you so much to everyone who is tuning in. We're going to do some shots out here in just a moment. If you see me looking down, I'm looking on my phone. I put a few notes there because I didn't want to forget. I did want Baby Blue to come on with me. However, it didn't go down like that. It didn't go down like that. So, but she'll be back. She'll be back coming on pretty soon. Pretty soon she'll be back tuning in with us. But you guys are tuning in Tampa, Florida, Arlington. Okay. You guys are tuning in from Arlington, Texas in the USA, Georgia as well. Tuning in. Tampa, Florida. I'm feeling like a Gemini. Ooh, okay. Okay. Feeling like a Gemini. I guess that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing, huh? Feeling like a Gemini. Feeling like a Gemini. Okay. Tuning in, Lola Falana from Chicago. Welcome. And it's so good to see you, Lola. So good to have you in the building, giving a shout out. Sir Charles is tuning in from Denver, Colorado. Welcome on in. Mega Miss Little is in the building. Good to see you. Priestess Erica, good to see you. Supreme 7 in the building. Good to see you. Everyone. I don't want to say the name wrong, tuning in from Barbados. Barbados is in the building. And also, we have Florida in the building. How is the weather? You know, it's a lot of storms moving through. We have the Marsh Islands tuning in. Donna is tuning in. Denver, Colorado, tuning in. So, how is the weather where you all are? You know, that whole weather thing this time of the year is, you know, a little tricky there, especially those who are standing in Japan. Japan just had another earthquake that happened just a couple of days ago. I'm hearing. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here, Lola. Glad to have you here joining us. Yeah, welcome on in to everyone. Welcome in. All right, so we're gonna get to it. I'm not gonna, you know, kind of take us through there. I'm gonna take you through there. It's a lot happening to take us through there, but I want to talk about some of these things with the Scorpio full moon that's coming up. That's going to be speaking to everything that has to do with love, that has to do with power and transformation. You know, all of those things that Scorpio has everything to do with. I'm going to be speaking about your rising sign. And so I use a Western whole house system, but I'm not going to hold you. I also infuse that with, you know, my intuitive multisensory abilities to kind of put this together. So I want you to get what resonates with you, what feels most aligned for you. And you can listen for your sun, for your moon, and for your rising sign. You can listen for all three and see which ones resonate with you. So we're going to be talking about that. So welcome to everyone on in. And if you're new here, let me be the first to say welcome. I want to welcome you on in. I want to welcome you on into the Blue Room, welcome you on in with the visionaries as well. Welcome you on in. Welcome you in. I want to say happy born day. Happy born day to everybody celebrating a born day during this particular time. You know, for everyone celebrating their born day. Yeah, happy born day to you. Happy born day. Yeah. So, so one of the things before we actually get started, this is what I want you all to do. I want you to kind of come close for just a moment. Just a moment. Just listen kind of close as we dive into this, because we are stepping into the feel of the Scorpio full moon. And I want you to just think about all the things that Scorpio stands for, right? And just that Scorpio energy. We're right here at the throes of that Scorpio full moon. And I want you to understand something. I want to share this with you before we begin. Despite what you might be hearing, this moon is not coming to scare you. This moon is coming to hand you back a part of yourself that you left in old rooms, that you left in old stories, that you have left in some of your old bonds, that you left some old fears and old emotional agreements. Scorpio, this energy, which is not something that is outside of yourself. This is something that's deep inside of each of us. It really is about love and about power and about transformation. And I know that if you've been thinking about your life and really over the last couple of days, you might have felt this heaviness about something you must give up. And I guess that's the best way I can say it. Something you must give up. you're going to stop doing. You're going to let go of. You're going to change. You're going to rearrange something a little different. You might have been reflecting on parts of yourself you've left, that you've left somewhere. It could have been an old bond. It could have been some old fear that used to grip you deeply, an emotional agreement. It's a great time to be doing some self-reflection. Now, I received quite a few emails over the last couple of days, and, there's a difference between doing a self-reflection and allowing ourselves to fall back into old agreements or old fears or even old stories. Stories we used to tell ourselves back in 2009, 2019, 2021, them old stories. We simply are not in the same space anymore. And so that room that you used to go into, that used to make you feel like you didn't belong, you simply don't feel that way anymore. You're in a new room now. Dare I say, you have made a new room for yourself. You've made new bonds. So much has changed. So this energy of Scorpio is being activated within our energetic field and our subatomic particles. Does not ask for surface peace. And that's going to be very important. And I want everyone to make note to self. This energy is not activating for surface peace. Scorpio, ask for you to look deep within yourself. And here's the question, and I want you all to write this question down. I actually went through all of this yesterday for myself. And so I want to invite you to join me on this activation here for this full moon so we can be in perfect alignment to receive what we need to receive from it, let go what we need to let go, and tap into what we need to tap into, right? Because so much goodness is here. And here's what I want you to write down right now for yourself. And I want you to hold this close to you while we do this live stream. And I also want you, if you know someone who might be interested in doing this kind of work, you send an invite to them at this time. But first, let's write this down. This energy of Scorpio is activating and it's asking, where is the power buried? And I want you to hold that thought. Where is the power buried? Where is your power buried at? And don't worry, before we leave here, you're going to have a great indication and a great awareness of where your power has been buried. Now, I'm simply not saying you're not powerful, because you are. But you got some soul power that is buried. And it's time for it to come to the surface. Now, Taurus is sitting across from Scorpio, because there's some very interesting energy that's happening right now. And so we're going to invite Taurus into this story, and wherever my Taurus people are, I want you to, soul family, to stand up. So we got Scorpio and Taurus energy is coming on board, sitting across from Scorpio. And it is asking a question, because this is the question before you answer the question I just gave you about where is the power buried, then I need you to think about this. Can you hold that power in your body? Can you? Are you able to hold that power in your body, in your choices, in your money, in your love, in your peace, and in your real life? Yeah. Can you? Can you hold that power? We know you got it. We know you're ready to unleash it onto the world. Taurus is gently coming in and asking the question, can you hold that power in your body? Can you sustain and hold that power in your choices? And can you hold that power in your money? They don't really want us to talk about money. That's an icky word on planet Earth, money. But can you hold that power in your money? And can you hold that power in your love? In the love for yourself, in the love for your family, in the love for your culture, in the love for your community, in the love for the world? And can you hold that power in your peace? And ultimately, can you hold that power in your real life? So, as we're gathered here, we're not talking and we're not going to be doing a basic talking to the moon. That's not what we're doing here. We're going to be diving in and doing a little bit of soul inventory, as I call it. We're going to be tapping into that. So grab you a pen, grab you something to write with so you can jot down all of your downloads that's coming in, all of your revelations that's coming in, all of your aha moments, your oh shit moments, and you wow, I didn't see that coming moments, and all of your power moments, because that's what we're stepping into. We're stepping into these power moments, and we're going to be doing a soul inventory, not to judge ourselves, because I've seen a lot of this energy. I've been hearing a lot of this energy, and somehow we have confused who we are with what we are experiencing. And even though they go together and we are the activator and the main energy, the main avatar, the main character, it's not the same thing. So, no judging ourselves. We listen, but what do they say? But we don't judge. We're not judging ourselves here. This is not the purpose of a soul inventory. It is not to judge ourselves. It is not to shame ourselves. And it certainly is not, and I've been seeing a lot of this shit, it is not to perform healing. Jeez. Not to perform healing. We're talking about real transformative healing, not performative healing. And then next day we right back in the same place we left? No. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a look. Let's just take a moment. And I want you to look at what has been quietly running the system. What is that thing? What has quietly been running in the background? What has quietly been running the system? You understand? Because some things do not leave just because we hate them. Things don't go away just because we hate it. No, some things leave because we finally stop feeding it. You know, we stop feeding it. I need you to remember that, especially as we transition into the month of May. Because what do they call it? May Day, mayhem. We know the energy that comes out, and it's already started. It's already started. I want you to understand that what I just described, that is the frequency of this full moon. That's the frequency of it. Okay? We have to stop negotiating with patterns. We must stop negotiating with patterns. Souls must stop negotiating with patterns. And the body, once that happened, the body stopped confusing tension with passion. I feel like I need to say that again. When we stop negotiating with patterns, right? And we're looking in our own lives, not to judge ourselves, not to shame ourselves, and certainly not to perform healing, okay? But we're looking at what system has been quietly running, what's been playing in the background. You understand? So we have to stop negotiating with these patterns in our lives, and the body will stop confusing tension with passion. The heart, stop calling attachment love. Because just because you're attached to something, it doesn't mean you love it. Woo! And listen at me. The higher self will step forward and says, let me see if we can tap into this higher self energy here. The higher self will step forward and say, I'm not being pulled into the deep. I'm being returned to my power. Someone type in the chat, I am being returned to my power. You're not getting pulled into the deep, into the depth, into the darkness. You're being returned to your power. Your power. Because that's the real transmission that's going on here tonight. That's the transmission. That's it. Right now. That's it. So, as we talk about this main energy, the full moon in Scorpio, and the sun, oh baby, the sun is going to be in Taurus. Full moon, Scorpio. Scorpio full moon. And the sun is going to be in Taurus. So we are dealing with the Taurus and Scorpio axis. Right? And so that vibration, that energy, D, I love that song. But Taurus energy says, what do I value? I want you to write these questions down. What do I value? What is it that I truly value? What do I own? Yeah. Makes me think about shout out to Oprah Winfrey and the OWN network. What do I own? What is it that you own? You need to have the understanding of these 4 questions here. So I'm going to start them from the top and we're going to run it back again. Number one, what do I value? And I want you to do some exploratory exploration magic afterwards and answer these questions. What is it that I value? What do I own? And what brings me peace? What brings me peace? And then lastly, what is stable? You know, we throw that around all the time. I'm stable. What is stable? Because what was stable to you yesterday, what was stable to you 2 weeks ago, may not be the same thing for you. But one thing about it, you need to know what they are. So here are the questions that this Taurus energy, with this activation of the Scorpio new moon, is going to ask, and the sun is going to be shining bright from this placement of Taurus. And these are going to be the things that will help you rise into your own power. And so now Scorpio is going to activate this. And here goes your questions for Scorpio. And so I'm going to give them to you. Thank you all for writing them down. Number one, Scorpio, ask, what am I attached to? Think about it. What are you attached to? Kind of makes me think about Drake. Scorpio in the building. But what are you attached to? And then the second question, what needs to be released? What needs to be released? Not what you want to release. Not what someone told you to release. But what needs to be released? The third question. This one took me a minute. So I want you all to take your time with these. You'll have time afterwards to answer this question. We have a window that's open. I'll speak more about that in just a moment. But the next question, where is my power hiding? I know y'all like that one. Where is my power hiding? And I really want you to just kind of take that in. Where is your power hiding? And then the next question. This one is kind of long. But this is a Scorpio kind of love me long time question. What truth have I avoided because it requires me to transform? That part. What truth have you been avoiding? We don't want to know that. We don't want to say that. We don't want to put that out there. What truth have I avoided? Because it requires me. It's going to require me to transform. Yeah. I want you to take a look. Take some time. Write these questions down. A great time to ponder them would be early in the morning when the sun is rising, or sometime in the evening when the moon is highlighted in the sky, because we're going to be working with these questions. So we got our questions. We have our homework assignment from yours truly, Ms.Blue. You got it. The Soulful Oracle. You got your homework assignment. What truth have I avoided because it requires me to transform? Boy, did I see that. Bam. We're going to run it back. Where is my power hiding? I know you powerful. I see you. I see you. But you got more power. You got soul power. You got more power. So I want you to go within. Take these questions in, sit down, give yourself time with them. You're going to see some powerful, powerful insights afterwards. Where is my power hiding? And you're going to have to look for it. You're going to have to look for it. It's not going to just, it's not on the surface. You're going to have to look for it. Put in that work. And then what needs to be released? Not what you want to let go of. What needs to be released, right? And then ultimately, the very intimate question, what am I attached to? Take a look. Take a look at it. Take a look. Answer those questions. I would love for you, once you're done, just to come back and share with us sort of the overall takeaway when you come back from answering both sets of questions. So this moon energy is activating something that's asking us to look at our relationship between two positions, between the position of comfort and the position of transformation. And I want you to see how far apart they are. How many of you, and I want you to be honest, has been uncomfortable today? You did something happened, something transpired. Where were you uncomfortable in the last 24 hours? Now, before you answer and before you tell a lie, tell the truth. What they say, tell the truth, shame the devil. Don't tell a lie. Don't tell a lie. If you've been uncomfortable, let me know. But I know for most of us here, we're leaning more on the comfortable side. But I want you to look at your relationship between being comfortable and transformation. Because there's a point where you have to leave the comfort. When you leave the comfort, some people like to put that you in front of it, right? Because you're going to know I done left my comfort zone and I done moved somewhere new, somewhere different, somewhere that doesn't feel familiar, somewhere where I'm not so sure, somewhere where I'm not 100%, somewhere where I don't have all the answers, somewhere where I can't see what's coming, somewhere where I don't have a strong footing, somewhere where I ain't popping off, ain't popping out, somewhere where I got to sit back and say, ooh, let me see. But if we keep moving, we'll get to the transformation. So here's what I want you to begin to start looking at, what I want you to begin to start examining, your relationship between comfort and transformation. I didn't use uncomfortable too much because that's a trigger for some of you. Some of you don't want to be uncomfortable because most of your life has been uncomfortable. And you thinking, finally, Ms.Blue, I'm comfortable. And now you're trying to push me again? Absolutely. And I'm pushing myself because I've been a real comfortable girl. One of my older cousins looked at my hands and said, you don't do no dishes. This is recently when I went on. You say, you ain't doing no dishes. I can look at them hands, tell you ain't doing no hard work. Now, two things can be true because the hands ain't the only thing that's got to work hard. I work my mind hard. I work my body hard. I work my mouth hard. I work my insight, my intuition. I work that hard. Okay? I had to get him together because he tried to come for me. But I want you to understand, I'm not telling you to cause yourself harm. I'm telling you to examine and take a look at your relationship and between transformation. Because if I'm going to tell the truth, a lot of people on the planet is stuck in the middle because they haven't made a decision to transform or to go back to their comfort zone. They're stuck in the middle. They're in pain. They're in sadness. They're in dismay. They are confused. They are ungrounded, stuck in the middle. You'd be better off to go back to comfort or take a chance and bet on yourself and go for the transformation than to be stuck in the middle. So think about where you are. It's going to help you. It's going to assist you. It's going to expand your consciousness and awareness when you look at your relationship between comfort and transformation. Because we are not designed to stay in the uncomfort zone. It is a temporary state of being. You know what it's like? It's like driving. And you know when you get ready to get in the turning lane, the turning lane is designed for you to turn. When you're getting ready to turn, that's the only reason to get in the turning lane. That's not a driving lane. That's not a parking lane, unless you live in some cities. But it's not really a parking lane. It is a lane when you know you are getting ready to turn, you get in that lane. If you stay in the turning lane, oh, you gonna be more than in pain. So you're either in your transformation or you're in your comfort zone. But I need you to examine the relationship between the two and then look at where are you in the process and where are you consciously moving towards. I will be completely honest. There is times that I thought in my mind I was moving towards transformation. But in reality, I was in my comfort zone and I was looking and dreaming at the transformation, but there wasn't no real movement taking place because the comfort zone was still there. And when I say comfort zone, I'm not talking about just our physical being uncomfortable. I'm talking about emotional uncomfort. You know when you're outside of your comfort zone. You know when you're doing something you haven't done before. And I'm not talking about just doing anything. I'm talking about things that matter to you. Things that you desire, things that you want to achieve, things that you want to connect yourself with. See, as human beings, we're really good with bullshitting ourselves. Matter of fact, we are experts at bullshitting ourselves. And you know what else I found out? When we get to Taurus season, the bull and the shit gets to piling up. It just piles up. And we will get lost in that la la land. So I want you to really look at your relationship between comfort and transformation. Figure out where you are. Figure out where you're going. Figure out you want to move forward. And all that is required is that you pick a position. You're not going to stay in transformation because that's not designed for you to stay there either. You're going to stay there. And eventually that transformation will become another comfort zone. And then you will continue to grow and you will continue to move yourself forward yet again. Okay? Now, I want you to know, and I will reiterate this because it goes back to one of our other questions, and that is sometimes we call peace, we will call something peace, when in reality, it is just something that is familiar to us. It ain't peace at all. Quite frankly, some are living in hell, but they are calling it peace, but it ain't peace. They have sacrificed everything but their living soul. They have done everything but put on a dress and twirl on top of a building. They have done everything but be peaceful through the process. So let us not mistake calling something peace when in reality, we're just familiar with it. We're just used to it. So that's all we know. That's all we know. And we don't want to go no further. We want to stick with what we got. That's it. We're familiar with it. We know it. We know how to do this job. We know what this person likes and don't like. We know how to push their button and don't push their button. We know what this state, this city looks like. We know. It's familiar. But is that really peace? Is that really peace? Is it? Now, sometimes we call something love, but it's really an attachment. I don't know about y'all, but I get emails every day of people asking me, do they have some kind of spirit attached to their ass? And I'm not laughing at the attachment. I'm laughing because we literally have things that are attached to us. And we're attached to it. We be attached to our phone, attached to social media, attached to unhealthy relationships, attached to jobs that don't care about us, attached to family members that don't support and don't love us, attached to foods that we know is not doing our bodies no good, attached to music that constantly keep our minds cycled in a tailspin. We just attached, attached to hairstyles. I had to challenge myself with that. Blue, are you just attached to this? Or do you really love it? Or you just attached to it? You don't know nothing else. I told y'all, I don't give you nothing I'm not giving to myself. We are all here growing up on planet Earth. And might I say, I'm just so happy we can do it together, But I want you to really look at that. And I want you to really begin to challenge yourself with that. Is it really love? Do you really love? I realized I really love this shirt. And then I thought, am I just attached to it? Or do I really love it? I really love it. I really love it. So I put it on. You might have even seen me on the gram with it on. I said, if you love it, why don't you wear it? You don't reach for it. You don't grab for it. Because I'm going through my clothes. I'm going through my closet. And I got this huge pile. And I said, you don't wear it. You haven't worn it. It's been 2 years. It's been 3 years. It's been 4 years. Do you love it? Or are you just attached to it? And I had to sit with myself and say, Blue, you are attached to it. You don't love it. Because when it's time for you to go somewhere and you want to show up and you want to show out, you don't pick from none of that. So do you love it or are you attached to it? And when I looked at the little itty bitty pile on my bed, it consists of like 4 outfits that anytime somebody call me at the last moment, I need to pop out and show up real good. I only pick from them 4. So what is all of this? What is all of this? It ain't love. It's attachment. So guess what? It's all gotta go. All of it's gotta go. It's gotta go. Some of it still got tags on it. Some of it I wore once or twice. I'm thinking about doing a photo shoot and at least take a picture in it so I can reminisce, because the mind has a hard time letting go of attachments. I'm pulling out all these shoes. You can lick the bottom because it ain't touch nothing. You could lick the bottom of the shoes. But I'm here saying, ooh, I love these shoes. Ooh, these shoes right here. Ooh, You don't love them. You don't love them. You're attached to it. So I want us to think about, something that we may be calling love when really we're just attached to it. I came to that realization about Godiva chocolate. There was a point that I loved. I mean, I'm not going to hold you. I loved Godiva chocolate. And if you're an OG with me, you know how much I loved Godiva chocolate. I wasn't getting sponsored. I wasn't getting free product. I would get a coupon every now and again. But I was in love with Godiva chocolate. But then I had to go back and I had to ask myself the question, was it something that truly brought me peace? Or was I just familiar? And I realized I was just familiar with it. But I do love it. But I was attached to it. But I loved it. Could I still love it and not be attached to it? Yes. So do I still eat Godiva chocolate? Absolutely. But do I love it, eat it, attached to it like I used to be? No. But do I love it? Oh, yes. There's a difference. I'm giving you these examples, and of course, I want you to run it through people, place, and things in your life. So you can run it through the people, the places, and the things in your life. So I had to get the difference between calling something love when it was an attachment. Okay? It was just an attachment. Now, here's the other one. We call something loyal. Loyalty, when really it's a fear of change. Am I loyal to bath and body work candles? Or I just have a fear of changing? Yes, I'm talking about tangible things because I'm trying to keep the conversation light. In case somebody run across this, I don't need nobody getting their panties or their boxers caught in a bind. We're in some sensitive times now, and I recognize that, okay? And I realize, you know what? I'm loyal to Bath and Body Work candles. but there really was a fear of change. Because I would go and purchase other candles and the throw just wasn't hitting. And I'm talking about candles I paid almost 3 times as much as the Bath and Body Works candle. Hmm. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Or was it a fear of change? It was a fear of change. Not wanting to be disappointed. You know how it is. I'd rather just go get my candle, my good old candle from Bath and Body Works. Get me a good old soy candle right here from Bath and Body Works. Then for me to be out here at a TJ Maxx Home Goods purchasing a candle twice the size, but it ain't hitting on nothing. And this one actually is hitting a little. Same scent. Same scent. Same scent. But this one right here, every day. These, it's a hit or miss. But it was something I had to begin to look at in my life. Was this true loyalty? Because true loyalty goes beyond your fear of change. These are some of the things that you could actually quantify. Not just, I'm loyal to you because I just ain't got shit going on. Now, the moment I get something else going on, I'm out. You ever see that kind of happen? Or it's just too easy to change. For a long time, when I was with Blog, and many of you know me from Blog, I knew I outgrew the platform. Quiet as it's kept, they told me themselves I had outgrown their platform. Go somewhere else. And at first it was the loyalty, because I started with them when they were in beta. It was all I knew, and they were good to me. But the technology was failing and failing. But I want to stay loyal. This is where, no, it wasn't loyalty. It was really a fear of changing and what that change was going to look like. And that's why I will always be true to letting you guys know when the math ain't fucking mathing for me. I'm not one of those teachers. I'm not one of those people that is going to lie to kick it. Because Craig don't need that. Keisha don't need me to lie to kick it. I'm not going to lie to you to kick it. And when that time came, I kept telling you guys, listen, 3 years I prepped. We out of here. Before they announced they was leaving, I was announcing and making sure I could have an exit. Was it one of the hardest things I've had to do in my life? No. But was it tough? Absolutely. That was my whole legacy. That's where I grew up. But I understood why that chapter had to come to an end. Because in that chapter, I was still in the mode that I had not grown. And it was time for me to move into a space that I could be like Patti LaBelle on my own. Not saying that I didn't need anyone anymore, but I needed to know that I could do this no matter where I was, no matter where you put me. That who I was, the success of what I was doing, the love of what I was doing, wasn't based upon anything outside of myself. It was based upon me. And I had to come face to face with Do you really want this or not? Or are you just loyal because you're afraid to change and say you want to go and do something else? I'm not constantly telling you guys to test your magic, and I'm not always testing mine. Don't let somebody put you on a path of self-destruction and get you to do some shit that they ain't never did before, but they trying to convince you that this is what you need to do. It don't have to match apples for apples and oranges for oranges, but I need to be able to see the expansion, to see the growth. I need to be able to see a clear picture that this is going on. Otherwise, it's lip service. And we don't need no more lip service. I think we've moved past that. So I want you to think about this. Sometimes, true fact, we call loyalty when really, really, it's a fear of change. It's a fear of change, right? If nothing else moves you, life will. The goal is not to have life move you. The goal is for you to move yourself, to step in your power, and for you to move yourself. And this is what this moon energy is activating. And if I had to put out a call and response for this energy, it would be, let the soul tell the truth. Not the mind, the false matrix, but the soul. Let the soul tell the truth. Not the wounded part, not the scared part, not the part that's trying to keep everybody comfortable. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the soul. This energy of Scorpio here is activating through the energy of the moon, emotional honesty. Emotional honesty. And that's deep. And I know you have been there before. I know you have known when you've been emotional honest. And so I want you to know there is some things that may happen. It may bring up old feelings. We're not going to do the ghetto boys and let our minds play trick on us. It can bring up old feelings, old attachment, and even some old memories. Memories, you know, make me think about Nicki Minaj and the old memories as she sings that song. But old memories, it may bring up old patterns. It may bring up old connections and contracts. And I'm talking about physical contracts, emotional agreements. And this part, it may even bring up old versions of self. And you have to be aware of this because it'll be too easy for you to trick yourself out of your own spot. If you don't know, some of you are feeling it right now because you are highly sensitive beings and all of your clairs have been highly activated for quite a while. And so if these old feelings are coming up, if old attachments are happening, if old memories are starting to surface and old patterns are starting to come back and you find yourself backsliding, slipping, falling, you know, for all of these things and old connections and contracts and old versions of yourself. No, none of it is to punish you. It's really to show you what has been released. It's showing you what you have let go of so that your power can return back to you. That's the full circle. The full circle of your power. That's it. The full circle of your power. So, in this moment, I want you to just kind of hold on to this phrase. It'll be an activating one. It's going to be a Ms.Blue phrase, but an activating one. I don't chase transformation. Transformation ain't some shit you can go running down the street after. You can't chase it. You can't sign up for it. You can't buy it. You can't sell it. You can't give it away. That's not what you can do for transformation. So here is the activating phrase. I don't chase transformation. I allow the truth to reveal what already changed. Period. Period. I don't chase activation. I allow truth to reveal what has already changed. That's the energy. So when you see it, when you feel it, when you think it, when it contacts you, when it comes up, I want you to hold this activation statement close to your heart, drop down in your body, and embrace it. I don't chase transformation. I allow truth to reveal what is already changed. All of it. All of it. Now. We got to talk about love. We got to talk about love with this moon energy because so much of it is about love. Because Scorpio energy can feel so intense. Whoo! And we know Scorpio energy governs the sexual organs and strong, pure, intimate energy and intense energy. But underneath, I want you to understand, underneath all of that intensity, if you're feeling it, I want you to know is a deep desire for real connections. Don't miss it. For a real connection, not a surface love, not a performative love, and not love that only works when everybody is damn pretending. Not that kind. We don't want that. You know, it reminds me of the show Love is Blind. And that was one of the things that one of the people on the show, the I don't know what you call it, participants on the show realized. They was all lovey-dovey when they couldn't see each other and they were behind the partition with everybody. Everybody who came in the pod, they was in love with. They was in love with them. And then when they finally picked the person that they were going to be with and propose to, oh, what happened to all that love? What happened to that other person you was telling your childhood, you was going deep with, you was talking about that with, you was making plans with, you was doing that, but you found out it was your number 2 choice. You were their number 2 choice and they had a number 1 and they didn't pick you. And so when they all got back together, one of the participants said, are we just going to pretend like we all wasn't just close to other people? No one's asking any questions? Don't you find that weird? You don't find it weird that just a couple of days ago, you were over here about to propose to me? And now you walk by me like you don't know me? You don't think that's strange? You don't think that's weird? You don't think that's crazy? You don't say my name? You don't wave high. You don't think that's weird? And that's what they were talking about. We're not talking about that kind of love. That only works when everybody's pretending. We're talking about real love. And I want to break out in a song, but I won't. I'll spare you. Real love. Love that can sit with truth. And you want that kind of love. You want that kind of love in your friendships, in your relationships. I know I do. That can sit with truth. Love that can hold vulnerability. That kind of love. Love that can transform without losing its center. That kind of love. Right? That's the kind of love. Real love. So, the love point of this Scorpio full moon is this. Can you love yourself enough to stop betraying your own knowing? And I'm gonna run that back again, because I don't know if I gave it its justice, because this is what the activation is going to be. And I want you to write this question down. This will be another one that we ponder, we work through, we kind of discuss and kind of dive in a little deep. Can you love yourself enough to stop betraying your own knowing? That part. That's the question. I know you love yourself, but can you love yourself enough to stop betraying your own knowing? Oh, I know you love you, but can you love yourself enough to stop betraying your own knowing? Yes, I heard you say you love yourself, but can you love yourself enough to stop betraying your own knowing? I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. And can you love yourself enough to pause before reacting? Because there probably will be some situations that push your button. So can you love yourself enough to pause before reacting? Can you love yourself enough to stop giving access to people, places, and patterns that keep pulling you back into the older version of you? You gonna throw your phone, bake chemistry? Throw it, throw the phone. Mm-hmm. Can you love yourself enough to just stop giving these people, these places, these patterns, giving them access? And they just keep pulling back and pulling you back. What's that song? Keep pulling me back, back, back. Y'all remember that song? I don't know who's singing it. But that keep pulling you back into the older version of you. Yeah. We're going to sit with that. We're going to write these down. We're going to sit with them and go through them. Like I told you guys, I'm running them back. I'm going through them with you guys too. And can you love yourself enough to choose joy even when the emotional feels deep? Yeah. Can you love yourself enough to choose joy? Because joy is a choice, even when the emotional feels deep. Just take a moment and choose joy? Can you do that? Can you love yourself that deep that before you allow that ocean of emotion to take you over, you choose joy? And one of the things I want you to know, joy is not always loud. It doesn't always have to get up and dance and sing or post a comment or send an email or make a phone call or send a text or have a conversation. It's not always loud. Sometimes we get that confused. It's not always loud. Sometimes joy is that quiet moment where you realize, I'm free to choose differently. And that's what I do when I have to get into that space. I drop down in my body. And yeah, no cap, I wiggle my goddamn toes. And I breathe. And I say to myself, before I let my mind take over, before the emotions sweep me up, I'm free to choose differently. That is power. When you do that, that's power. You didn't make no decisions. You didn't dismiss things. This isn't spiritual bypassing. You just gave yourself permission to choose joy. You loved yourself enough to choose joy. And then you took that moment, that very quiet moment, and reminded yourself, in this moment, I am free to choose differently. Yeah. Yeah. Free to choose different. Yeah. That's some real power. Now, let's talk about transformation. Because sometimes when we talk about transformation, us spiritual folks, us highly aware folks, we think of the butterfly and the cocoon. And here's what I'm here to tell you. Transformation is not always dramatic. I know that sounds good, but transformation isn't always over the top with a little bit of ice cream on top and a little cherry. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes transformation is an honest conversation. Listen, don't underestimate the power of an honest conversation. It will change your life. I have done it. I have had it happen to me where people have come to me with an honest conversation, and there was instant transformation. Not dramatic. It wasn't over the top. It was instant. So remember that. Transformation is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's that one honest conversation. Period. Here's the other thing. sometimes transformation, who don't I know this one, is a boundary. One boundary. That's it. Not 20, not 30, not 50, not building the fortress around you. One boundary. Sometimes that's all you need for a good transformation, baby. It's one boundary, one healthy boundary that you set with yourself. By the way, loving yourself enough, those statements, those are boundaries. Yeah. Here's another one. I'm going to tell you something because I was tested with this one today. Sometimes it's deleting the message instead of sending it. That's a transformation in itself. You know how you're looking at your phone and you see that person typing and then it goes away and then you look again, they type. This is what I was doing. Then I said, you know what? We're going to delete that. I had an instant transformation by not sending, deleting the message instead of sending it. And I think sometimes we underestimate that. Think about the message you're about to send. And I'm not just talking about text. I'm not just talking about online and email. I'm talking about messages out of your mouth. I'm talking about messages out of your mouth. Messages through your action, how you look at somebody, different emojis, messages. I deleted that one message and I had an instant transformation. It can happen. Now, here's another one. Oh, I didn't experience all of these. So we just gonna we having an honest conversation here. We always do, but we gonna really get there tonight. Sometimes transformation is resting instead of spiraling. Holla if you hear me. Sometimes your transformation point will come resting instead of spiraling. I'm just going to go take me a shower. I'm going to wrap this hair up nice and tight. I'm going to throw that little gown on and I'm going to slide up in that bed and I'm going to cut them lights out and I'm going to go to sleep. Time to go night-night. I'm just going to rest. I refuse to spiral. I'm just going to rest. I woke up feeling refreshed with a full transformation. Full transformation. Yeah. I'm putting y'all on to some good game here. You know, we got a good awareness masterclass going on for this new moon energy that's coming up. I want y'all to know all the ways that transformation can happen because somehow we got caught up in the phoenix thinking we got to burn shit down and rise from ashes. It don't always got to be that. It's some other ways we can make this thing happen and we can get the full fact. Yeah, just sit down, time out. There you go. Sometimes it's, you just gotta chill. You just gotta chill, right? So here's another one. Sometimes your transformational point is choosing softness when your nervous system expects pure chaos. I'm just saying, sometimes choosing softness, okay? Now, brothers, I know y'all don't like nobody to call y'all soft. We got to find another word for y'all. Just chill. But y'all know what I mean. Choosing softness when your nervous system is about that life and expecting pure chaos. Okay? You can have confirmation by just kind of chilling, moving into the softness and saying, I understand. It's okay. It's going to be all right. Yes. Just getting into the softness of it. Allowing your nervous system. Nobody move. Nobody get hurt. We ain't got to drip fire. We ain't got to, spin the world backwards. We ain't got to do none of that. It's not good for our nervous system. Griffin said, child, look, listen, I know. Oh, Quan said, nah, I'm soft. You understand what I mean when I say choosing softness. Softness, not sadness, just softness. Yeah, yeah. Now, so this full moon is activating this energy, and this energy is, if I could translate, let me be the scribe here for you tonight, the oracle scribe here for you, and translate this. You don't have to prove you changed. This is really what's going on when these challenges and these things are coming up. Somehow we feel like, oh, I got to prove. What can I do to prove that I've changed? You ain't got to do all that. That's doing way too much. Just stop feeding these old patterns. That's it. Make a commitment to yourself to stop feeding your old patterns. That's transformation in itself. That's pure transformation. That part right there is enough. That's enough. So now, I'm looking at this and goodness. All right. I say smoothness. I'm masculine. I love that. We love that. We love that. We're here for the smoothness, Ellis. We're here for it. All right. You hold the smoothness. We like that too. Softness and smoothness. They go hand in hand, I think. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So now this is what I'm going to do. And by the way, if you're here and you taken any kind of value, you've gotten anything good from this, please make sure you're subscribed. Please make sure you hit that like button. Okay, it really kind of helps your girl out. It does. It really does. It's a one goddess show over here. And so that really, really helps out. And it allows me to keep coming back and, giving y'all this good stuff that we all can use here and keep the community going. And it also shows that you support the community as well. So a like and a subscribe would be so grateful for, totally grateful for you to do that. Currently right now we got 161 likes and we got more than 261 people here. So I ain't gonna do the math. I'm gonna let y'all do the math and we're gonna move on because I'm gonna give you some insight based on the energy that we're already in the throes of and the energy that is coming in based on your rising sign. Now, it's a combination of what I'm using here, rising sign mixed with a little bit of the Akashic records and diving into the collective energy and intuitive energy for each one of the signs. So see what resonates with you. See what you feel connected to. Listen to your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. And this is just going to give you an overscope of what's going on and what feels right to you. It's going to be completely different, so I tried to keep it with themes. And so we have a couple of points that we're going to be looking at. Each one of the rising signs that we're going into, you will have your PowerPoint, and I'm going to let you know the themes surrounding your PowerPoint during this particular Scorpio full moon and this Taurus access. Plus, I'm also going to give you your love point, okay? And then we're also going to talk about your transformational point. So all of these things will be in there tonight. So you'll be able to get you some good insight and just, keep an awareness out for these things coming up, plus all the things that we talked about. And so here we go. We're going to start with Aries rising. So, all of my Aries in the building. And so, Aries rising, I want you to know that this full moon is going to be activating your eighth house. And in this eighth house, it's going to be things that is surrounding around intimacy, around your shared resources. So look forward to having a conversation about any kind of resources that you share, and not just within your partnerships, but even working relationships, wherever there is shared resources at, I want you to think about. And also, this is also going to be activating deep emotional bonds, and you're going to be looking and really thinking right now. Aries rising, you're already thinking about these deep emotional bonds you have with people, places, and things. You're going to be thinking about spiritual agreements and where these spiritual agreements are that you have made. If there needs to be some sort of adjustment, some sort of change, or some sort of anything that needs to shift in this area. And the other thing, Aries rising, that's going to be heavy on the rotation plate for many of you, it's going to be about your energetic exchanges, because you've been seeing that there's not as much reciprocity going on in your energy of exchange. You're giving a whole lot, but you're not getting a whole lot back. And then I also want you to think about where you're not giving, but you're expecting a lot back. And so this is going to be the overall theme as this energy sort of kicks off. And it's going to take us in for quite a while with this Scorpio energy that's activating. Now, I want to talk about your power point. And your power point for you, Aries rising, is going to be reclaiming where your energy has been tied up in other people. And I know you feel me on this. Other people's emotions, other people's expectations, and other people's resources. These are some key points for you to look at. These are going to be your power point to figure out where has your energy been tied up in these areas. Let's talk about your love point. Your love point is allowing. You have to do this, Aries rising. Allowing intimacy to be honest without becoming so controlling and so defensive. That part. Without you being too controlling and everything offends you. We want to find that honesty in that, and being honest in your intimate relationships and speaking up for what things that you need and want, but not in a controlling way and not in a defensive way. I want to talk about your transformational point, because this is about learning that vulnerability is not a weakness. And I know that's kind of hard for Aries risings, because, y'all the best to ever do it. And you want to be first, and, you want to get out there and you ready to roll your sleeves up and just, dig into the dirt. But really, you must learn that being vulnerable in all capacities is not a weakness when it's coming from a very honest place. Know that vulnerability is the doorway to deeper power when you are standing in your self respect. Because ultimately, that's what Aries risings want. They want to keep their self respect intact. That is something that they honor, that is something that they cherish, and it's something that they work hard at. And so just remember that. And so here's one of the things when I tap into this energy even deeper, looking at it, from an intuitive point of view. This is what's being asked of you at this moon activation. Where have I confused intensity with intimacy? And that's the question for you, Aries rising. Now, I'm going to move through these pretty quickly, so you guys kind of stay with me. You can always play me back and put me on slow down if you want. But let's go to Taurus risings. And so for all my Taurus risings in the building, and I know you're out there, Taurus risings, here we go. This full moon activates your seventh house, and this is all about agreements. It's about partnerships. It's about relationships. It's about your clients. It's about anything that is going to reflect back to you what you're putting out. So it's really acting as if it is this cosmic mirror. And primarily, it's going to be those things in your one-on-one connection that you're having. And so these are the areas. This is going to be the theme for you, Taurus risings. And I want you to take a look at that. Now, your PowerPoint is seeing who reflects your growth and who reflects your old survival patterns. Because trust me, Taurus rising, people are going to show you who they are, and it's going to help you to see the people in your life that is reflecting your growth and those who are constantly trying to show you an old survival pattern that you have already outgrown. So your love point for Taurus risings, and I want you to think about this, is choosing connections that really honor three things for you. You're going to choose connections that honor your truth. You're going to choose connections that honor your body, and choose connections that honor your peace. Yeah, that's going to be your love point. And your transformational point is to releasing the version of you that stays stuck in dynamics just because they are familiar. Okay. And so when I tap in and channel this energy for Taurus risings based on this Scorpio moon activation, here is something I want you to ponder on and kind of flirt with a little bit. And really asking this question and really get curious, flirt with this question quite a bit. Who can meet me where I'm becoming and not where I used to be? That's the question, Taurus rising. You want to know who can meet you where you're becoming and not where you used to be. Yeah, so there you go, Taurus risings. Yeah, I'm excited for you. Let's go to Gemini risings. All right, Gemini rising. This full moon is activating your sixth house. So this is going to be about health. It's going to be about service. It's going to be about work. It's going to be about your daily patterns. And it's also going to be about your routine and health. You understand? And every way that your energy is managed. So Gemini rising, highly activated for you in a very profound way. Let's talk about your PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint is recognizing the habits that are quietly draining your life force energy. So take some time, Gemini risings, and I want you to begin to start making a note. If you have to use your voice notes on your phone, if you have to send yourself a message, if you have to send yourself an email, if you have to write it down. But I want you to recognize the habits that are quietly draining your life force. All right? And then I want to talk about your love point. These are your love points. Your love point is treating your body like a whole oracle. I love that. Not a machine. Not a machine. You are not a machine, Gemini risings. We know you got the gems in your eyes, but you are not a machine. And your love point is treating your body like an oracle. Listen to it. Your body is speaking in profound ways. Gemini rising, you are not a machine. You are not Amazon. You are not. Now, your transformational point. Your transformational point is creating a daily pattern that supports the future version of you. The future version of you, not the version of you that you're tussling with, but the future version of you, and creating new daily patterns that you can really tap into. So, Gemini rising, when I tap into this frequency intuitively, this activation of the moon is really sort of calling on you. And here is your activation question I want you to ponder, I want you to flirt with is, what routine is no longer matching the frequency I say I want, because it is there. So there you go, Gemini rising. Let's go to Cancer risings. Where are my Cancer risings at? So, Cancer risings, this full moon is going to be activating your fifth house. And this is the house of joy, of children, of the inner child, and of healing, of joy, of pleasure, and also creativity and romance, and oh, yes, self expression. Self expression. And so, Cancer risings, I want to talk about your love point here. Your love point here is allowing yourself to be seen without shrinking your magic. And I really need you to hear that, Cancer rising. Please allow yourself to be seen without shrinking your magic. Your transformational point is releasing emotional patterns that made you feel guilty for wanting more. And I need you to hear me, Cancer rising. Releasing emotional patterns that made you feel guilty for wanting more pleasure, for wanting more play, and for wanting more beauty, and for wanting more life. That is so key for you. When I tune into your energy intuitively and the activation for this full moon here, this is the question I want you to ponder, I want you to flirt with, and I want you to get curious about. Where did I stop letting myself enjoy being alive? And I want you to dive in deep to that and really begin to ask yourself that question. Where did I stop letting myself enjoy being alive? And really, really work with that energy. There you go. I'm excited for you. Let's go to Leo risings. Where is a Leo rising at? Where is a Leo rising? Leo rising. Here we go. This full moon is going to activate your fourth house. And let me tell you, this is going to be about family. It's going to be about roots. It's going to be about the ancestral line. It's going to be about your emotional safety. It's also going to be about your house. It also is going to be about your home. And it's also going to be, Leo risings, about your private world. This is the theme that is going to be lit up during this time. So your PowerPoint, and I want you to get this, Leo rising, your PowerPoint is understanding that your foundation determines your shine. Your foundation determines your shine. And your love point is nurturing the parts of you that you have learned to perform strength instead of receiving support. And so, Leo rising, this is your time to get support, to be open to receive the support. Yeah. Learning how to receive support. Now, your transformational point is releasing old family patterns. This is going to be major for you, Leo rising. It's releasing those old family patterns, your old emotional roles, and old definitions of safety, because that is changing for you. It has changed. And the more that you can identify it, the more that this transformational point will allow you to release these old family patterns, these old emotional roles, as well as these old definitions of what you called safety. And so when I tap into this energy and when I begin to just go deeper into this and looking at what is being activated at this time, I want you to get curious. I want you to flirt with this, and I want you to really, really harness this energy, Leo rising. And that is this question: what part of my inner home needs to be rebuilt with love? And I want you to take that in. So next, we're going to go to Virgo risings. Where is my Virgo risings? I know I'm going pretty fast, you guys. I'm trying to make it through this, so we're not here all night. So we're going to go to Virgo risings. Virgo rising. This full moon is activating and lighting up your third house. And this is all about your thoughts. It's about your voice. It's about your siblings. It's about your community. It's about learning. It's about communication overall, the voice, everything, and also your inner dialogue, which Virgo risings can be so strong at times, right? I want you to know that this is the theme and this is what's going to be activated. Now, your PowerPoint is realizing that your words carry energy. Your words carry energy. And we know that that energy can either build or destroy. But your point of power is just the realization that your words is carrying profound energy at this time. Let's talk about your love point. Your love point is speaking to yourself with the same devotion you offer everyone else. So that same devotion that you give to your friends, your loved ones, your family members, your soul group, Virgo risings, I need you to give that and offer it to yourself. Your transformational point, let's talk about it. Your transformational point is releasing mental loops. And these mental loops are old stories and the need to over-explain what your soul already knows. All right? You ain't got to lie to kick it, Virgo rising, and you don't need to do all of that explaining. Now, when I tap into this energy from an intuitive perspective and really just go beneath the surface of this energy, what the new moon is activating, it's calling upon something. It's asking for something. And here's the question I want you to flirt with. Here's the question I want you to get curious with. And I want you to begin to start asking, what truth have I been editing so others as well as myself can stay comfortable? What truth have I been editing so others as well as myself stay comfortable? So there you go, Virgo risings. Let's go to Libra risings. All right, we're going to talk about it. Libra rising. This full moon is lighting up and it's activating your second house. And this second house has everything to do with values. It has to do with your self-worth. It has to do with your gifts. It has to do with your relationship with receiving. And ultimately, it is a money house. It has to do with money. And these are going to be the themes, Libra rising, that is right here. This Libra rising right here. So here we go. Your PowerPoint is to reclaim, and it is reclaiming your value without needing outside validation. And so Libra rising, this is about reclaiming your value without needing any outside validation. I want to talk about your love point. Your love point is allowing yourself to receive without guilt, without apology, and even without over giving. And oh my goodness, I am feeling this because Libra rising, baby, I am one of you. So I understand this. And we have to get this love point. This love point is allowing ourselves to receive without guilt, without apology, and without over giving. So let's talk about your transformational point, Libra rising. Your transformational point is releasing scarcity patterns that make you question your wealth. And I'm talking about your wealth and your worth. So releasing these scarcity patterns that have made you question your worth in relationships, your worth in friendships, the worth in your job and the work that you're putting out in the world, and even your own wealth. That is the transformational point, and this is what is being released. Now, when I tune in intuitively to what this moon is activating, and here's the question I want you to begin to flirt with, get curious with, as I tune into this intuitively and looking deep beyond the surface here, Libra rising, here is the question for you. Where have you been underpricing? Well, let me put it in first person so I can make it stick. Where have I been underpricing my energy, my gift, or my presence? And I'm going to say it again for you, Libra risings. Where have you been underpricing your energy, your gifts, or your presence? All right, well, there you go. I'm wishing you well, Libra risings. Let's go to Scorpio risings. Where are my Scorpio risings at? Scorpio rising. This full moon for you, ooh, baby, it's personal, right? It's personal. And it's going to be lighting up and activating your first house. This has everything to do with your body, your identity, your presence, your visibility, and your selfhood, your godhood, everything, Scorpio rising. Now, that is going to be your theme that this Scorpio full moon is going to be activating for you. Now, your PowerPoint is remembering who you are, but without the old armor. But without the old armor. Okay? Now, here is your love point. Your love point is allowing people to witness your transformation without needing to explain every single layer of it. It's okay. Allow people to witness your transformation, Scorpio rising. And remember, transformation doesn't always have to be loud. And definitely, your love point is to allow people to witness it without needing to explain every single area. Now, your transformational point is shedding an identity that once protected you, but now it is limiting your expansion. So I want you to begin to start thinking about that. Scorpio rising, your transformational point is shedding an identity. And this identity once protected you, but now it's only holding you back. It is limiting your expansion. All right? I want you to begin to think about that. So now I'm going to give you your question, Scorpio rising. As I intuitively tap into this, I want you to get curious. I want you to flirt with this. Here is your question that's going to be activated under the Scorpio full moon. Who am I when I no longer need the old version to defend me? Who am I when I no longer need the old version to defend me? So there you go, Scorpio risings. Now let's go to Sagittarius risings. Where you at, Sagittarius? Come out wherever you are. Sagittarius rising. Here we go. This full moon is going to be shining the light. And I keep hearing, turn up the lights in here, baby. Yeah, turn up the lights. And it is activating your 12th house, Sagittarius rising. And the 12th house, this is the unconscious patterns. This is hidden emotion. It is also divine protection, but it's also about endings. It has everything to do with spirits and everything to do with dreams. And so this will be your theme, Sagittarius rising. And your dreams are going to be off the Richter scale. So I want you to pay attention to these themes that will be activated, that will be lit up in your 12th house. Now, Sagittarius rising, your point, your PowerPoint is seeing what has been operating behind the scenes. Look in your life. See what kind of patterns, what kind of unconscious patterns have been operating behind the scenes in your life. I want you to call them out. I want you to bullet point them in your notes. I want you to write them down. I want you to be fully aware of them because visibility is going to mean everything to you, Sagittarius risings. So now let's talk about your love point. And your love point is trusting rest, trusting your solitude, and even your spiritual quiet as a part of your growth. You may feel like you want to go more inward. You may feel extremely exhausted right now, Sagittarius rising, as we move through this energy. And your love point is really trusting to give yourself this rest, trusting to allow yourself to have sort of this solitude, and also trusting the spiritual quiet as things will become quiet, because this is going to play a significant part of your growth. All right. Your Your transformational point, Sagittarius rising, is releasing invisible burdens. And I can't say that enough. I'm going to say it again. Sagittarius, your transformational point is releasing invisible burdens, these things of old grief, energetic attachment that your soul has outgrown. Your soul has outgrown. And those are going to be your transformational points. Now, I want to talk about from an intuitive point. And here's your question that the full moon is asking you to flirt with, to connect with, to, really get deep with, and really to take within and get curious about intuitively when I tap into your energy, Sagittarius rising. Here's your question. What am I finally ready to release in private so I can rise in public? Whew, that was deep. I'll read it again for you, Sagittarius rising. What am I finally ready to release in private so I can rise in public? There you go. Good luck, Sagittarius rising. Now, let's go to Capricorn rising. Here you go, Capricorn rising. Ooh. Capricorn rising, this full moon activates your 11th house. This is all about networks. It's about futuristic visions. It's about the collective alignment. It's also about friendships and networks, if I didn't say that already, and community. So this is going to be the theme, Capricorn risings, for you. Now, your PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint, Capricorn rising, is recognizing who truly belongs in your next chapter. That part. Who truly belongs in your next chapter? Because everybody can't go with you. really recognizing that. That's going to be your power point. Now, your love point is allowing support to come from aligned communities instead of trying to carry absolutely everything all by yourself. Uh huh. Uh huh. I said it. Yes. Allowing aligned, that's a key word with discernment, aligned communities instead of carrying everything yourself. Now, Capricorn rising, your transformational point is releasing groups, releasing circles, and releasing dreams that no longer matches your soul's future. And you got some groups and you got some circles and you got some dreams, Capricorn rising, that no longer matches your soul's future. That is your transformational point to release this. Now, here we go. We're going to talk about what the moon is asking of you. When I look at this intuitively, Capricorn rising, and I want you to begin to start flirting with this, getting curious with this, and really, really just asking yourself this question: who is walking with my destiny? And who is only connected to my history? And I want you to think about that. Who is walking with my destiny? And who is only connected with my history? Because here's the distinction for you, Capricorn rising. Now, let's go to Aquarius. Aquarius risings. Where are the Aquarius risings at? Aquarius rising. This full moon is lighting up. It is activating your 10th house. And this 10th house has everything to do with your public image, your career, your leadership, your reputation, and your life direction. And so this is going to be the theme that is playing out for you, Aquarius rising. Your PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint is stepping into visible authority without abandoning your emotional truth. Can abandon your emotional truth. Stepping into your visible authority, the authority within yourself. PowerPoint for you, Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising, let's talk about your love point. Your love point is allowing your purpose to evolve without needing everyone to come along and to understand the shift. Because there's a shift, Aquarius rising, that you are making, you're contemplating, you're thinking about making. Know that your love point is allowing your purpose to evolve without needing everyone to understand the shift. Now, Aquarius rising, your transformational point is releasing old definition of success that were built around approval instead of your soul's alignment. This is what you need to release. So your transformational point is releasing these old definitions of success that were built around approval instead of your soul's alignment. Yeah. So when I dive in deep, Aquarius rising, what this energy is activating with the moon, looking deep beyond the surface from an intuitive point. And I want you to flirt with this question. I want you to get curious about it. And I want you to begin to ponder it with yourself. And here it is. What version of success is my soul no longer willing to perform? And I'm going to say that again. What version of success is my soul no longer willing to perform? There you go. I am wishing you well. Whew, Aquarius rising. Now, where my Pisces risings at? All right. Where my Pisces risings. So Pisces risings, here we go. This full moon is lighting up. It is activating your ninth house. And your ninth house is everything. It has to do with teaching. It has to do with traveling. It has to do with publishing. It has to do with spiritual expansion, higher visions, belief systems, and wisdom. Did I say traveling, teaching, publishing? All of that, all of that, all of that energy is being lit up. It's being lit up in a profound way for you at this time, right? Now, your PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint for you, Pisces rising, is trusting the wisdom you have earned through your experience, because you have so much wisdom that you have gained through your experiences. Trust that. That is going to be your PowerPoint. And now, Pisces risings, your love point. Your love point is letting your belief system mature without shame for what you used to believe. There ain't no shame in what you used to believe versus where that belief system is maturing now, and allowing that with love to progress without shame. All right, Pisces rising. Now, Pisces rising, your transformational point. Your transformational point is releasing outdated philosophies, releasing spiritual bypassing, or old teachings that no longer match the direction of your knowing, because you're going in a different direction, Pisces rising. So that's your transformational point, is releasing those outdated philosophies, releasing spiritual bypassing, or, those old teachings that no longer match the direction, your direction knowing. So now we're going to talk about what this moon energy is activating and asking you to ask. And when I intuitively tap into this and going deep, I want you to get curious. I want you to flirt with this. And here is your activation question. What truth is ready to become a part of my living philosophy? Not the one in my mind, not the one of old teachings, not the ones of spiritual bypassing, but of my living philosophy now. So there you go, Pisces rising. Whoo, y'all, that took a lot. That took a lot out of your girl. It took me a moment to get that. I'm glad I got it together because I've had it for about a week or so. Okay, phone, what we over here doing? All right. All right, you guys. Well, there you go for the rising signs. And so we're going to be getting out of here. I just want to make an announcement. I want to make an announcement here. I want to make an announcement here. But let me check in with the Soul family. Let me see how you all are feeling, how you all are doing here. Yeah. How we feeling? How we doing? You're so welcome. You guys. You are so welcome. So I'm going to tell you the first announcement that I want to make with you guys, and then we're going to talk about it. And so I want to talk about this. And for those of you who are just coming in, or for those of you who are new to me, I want to reintroduce myself here. And I want to reintroduce myself here for those of you who are just coming in. I am Ms.Blue, affectionately known as the Soulful Oracle. I am a visionary psychic medium. And the reason why I put that visionary there, because I truly do think in the aspects of the vision. I get a lot of visions, But as a visionary psychic medium, I'm also a certified Reiki master, a spiritual teacher, and a frequency guide, a holistic practitioner, a certified holistic practitioner under the one and only Queen Afua, the mother of holistic healing. And one of the things that I am dedicated to is helping people to understand energy. If I had to give it to you in an honest way, it's helping people to understand energy, release their fears, and activate their gifts, and also move through their life as a sovereign being, a sovereign and a powerful being. I don't want to leave the powerful out because I think if we do, then we've lost something. And what I love about moments like this is that we're not just talking about the moon as if it's something outside of ourselves. I don't do that. We are looking at how the energy speaks through us because this is energy that is speaking through you. You understand? As I read this, I see how Ashley says, you took us through there. I took y'all through there. Yeah, because the energy is truly moving through us. The moon doesn't make you do anything. It illuminates. And when the moon illuminates, then the aspects and the particles, the subatomical particles inside of you, when the moon begins to illuminate, it begins to illuminate inside of you. In fact, you're the first activation of this illumination, not the moon. We are truly lighting the way. We are lighting the way. Now, the moon doesn't make you do anything. It illuminates and it shows you where the water is moving. It shows you what has been sitting in your emotional field. What has been sitting in your emotional field? This is what the moon is the collective. It's the collective. It's your home. It's your physical body. You understand? So the moon, it shows what your soul is ready to tell the truth about. If you ever notice during a full moon, close to a full moon, people start really getting honest and telling the truth. Someone said she is certified, stamped by Brother Bobby Hemmett. Thank you for that, Brother All Right. And backed by Brother Panic. Thank you for that. And backed by you guys too. I'm grateful for it. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. So that's why I really love when we get together in this space and we have these kind of conversations. Because what we understand, you and us, you and me, we understand energy. And when you can start understanding things as energy, we stop fearing our own evolution. And that's where we are. We're in the point of we are evolving. I was watching a special. There's a project that the government did, and some of you may be very familiar with this. I think it was Candace Owens who talked about it, called the Looking Glass Project, where they basically were getting these remote viewers, these psychics, these clairvoyants, and they also had some ancient technology from Samaria where they could literally look into the future. And allegedly, the government had this thing where they could do this. But it came to a point where they could no longer see where humanity was going, meaning it cut off. And one of the years of the cutoff was right before the Mayan calendar. And so it was lining up with these critical dates. It lined up with 1999 when we were about to go into 2K. And then it got even more to the point when we got into the Mayan calendar. And then it went even further. And so basically, the conclusion that many have come to is that the timelines had collapsed and that the powers could no longer manipulate, change, or dictate what was going to happen in the future. So this is why shit started going really, really crazy after 2016. And things prior to that, the Mandela effect, where groups of people remembering the world one way and another group of people remembering things this way. And, we're having these debates about the earth being round, and some people remember it being flat, or really seeing it as flat. And all of these things, these timelines started coming to crash in. And so the question remained, what was that they seen in the Looking Glass project that stopped them from going any further? What was it that they seen that they're not saying? Oh yeah, I love Candace. Always have. She brings some great insight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great insight, great thought thinker, great visionary. She's a great visionary. But I bring this question up because let me share something with you. What they seen is that we became sovereign beings. We no longer have soul contracts. And I want to bring you back because remember when I came out, and I know some of you, trust me, stay with me here. I told you guys, we no longer had soul contracts. And literally, I had people in the spiritual community coming for me with a pitchfork, wanting to kill me, still wanting to get me from saying that. But that's what they seen. There were no more soul contracts, not with your family, not with the place you were born, not with anything. But I want you to understand how that's a position of power. It's not a position of lack. And they recognize that this is a position of power, that there is no soul contract. It doesn't mean you abandon your family. It doesn't mean you abandon your culture or your community. In fact, I think it requires us to have a greater level of awareness and responsibility to the people, the places, and the things that we truly are connected to, because there is nothing that is preordained for me to be connected to you. I'm a free agent. That's what I taught you guys. You're free agents. You can move around. Move around. I remember when I first came out with that saying of a free agent. People was looking at me like, what? What the hell is she talking about? We got soul contracts. No, we don't. Those contracts ended. And that's what I personally, this is my insight, because everything that they were talking about with this lined up to what I was seeing in the Akashic records. And I've been talking about for years and years and years. We're out of soul contracts. So if I'm connected with you, that is my sovereign choice to be connected with you. If you are my mother and I love you, I don't stay with you and love you because you're abusing me, using me, mistreating me, hurting me. No, I don't have to stay connected. I stay connected to those that I feel is in alignment with what I want to receive and give in my life. It gives you a sense of freedom that you can never get, not just from your family. I use that as an example, but from anything, your relationships, the work you do in the world, where you live at. That's right. Yes. 2020, we've been out of soul contracts. They have been over. That's what they seen. So if there is no soul contract, it's hard to manipulate people on the planet. I can manipulate you if you're in a soul contract. But if you know you are a free agent, It's very hard to manipulate you. You know, the NFL had all their free agents for this draft. And you could tell the ones that were in contracts and the ones that were free agents. You cannot have a say if you have a contract. There is no say. You're limited. And they want you to think that you're limited. You're limited in what you can do. If your mother and your father were just blue collar workers, then all you can be is a blue collar worker. If you come from this city, if you have this kind of skin color, if you have this level of education, if you live at this school, none of this. This is why the systems are all crumbling down. Because everything came out of a contract. This is even what the disagreements are happening with different places around the world, because they realize I'm no longer in a contract with you. So we don't have to do what you told us to do. We are free now. So I want you to recognize and understand that we are stepping deep into the conscious awareness of sovereignty energy. And so this is even why it's more powerful when you have a soul group, because you're choosing to be there and it's something that's in alignment for you. It's even more powerful when you have friends, when you have loved ones, all of that. It's even more powerful. It's amazing. I wonder what this says, because I got notifications on pause, baby, but it wanted to break through. Oh no. Okay. It was a tornado alert, and I'm sending love out to everyone for that. But this is what this energy is about, because you are a sovereign being. You're a sovereign being. You're not bounded by a contract. Be bonded by love. Be bounded by your joy. Be bounded by honest and authentic connection. Let that be the bond, the agreement. Let it go deeper than the skin. Is that important? Only if it's real. Because too many times we've seen that there's an appearance of a togetherness, but that was only surface level. So now, this is what people are looking for, something that is real. And that's what we understand here. We understand energy. And I love conversations like this, because it allows us to stop fearing our own evolution, because we are growing up on planet Earth and we are evolving. So wherever you are on your path, in your journey, stay there and keep growing and keep loving yourself and keep loving others around you. Keep going after your desires, your dreams. Be a light. Be a light that is an activating light of everything, every person, every being, and every place that you go. Bring all of you unapologetically. That's the best thing that we can do in the world at a time like this, and stand up for those things that we feel within our heart that we're being called to stand up for. Whatever that work is you want to put out in the world, that you want to be a part of and that you want to do. Yeah. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share that with you all. I wanted to share that with you all. And then also, I have an announcement. Speaking of spaces, a few years ago, many of you remember the Psychic Lounge. How many of you remember me telling you about the Psychic Lounge? And I kept saying, you guys, we're going to have the Psychic Lounge, the Psychic Lounge. The Psychic Lounge is coming. And it's going to be one of those sacred spaces. In fact, I still have the Instagram page of the Psychic Lounge and even on some other platforms as well. But I wanted to talk about this and I wanted to let you all know that the Psychic Lounge is coming soon. And I'm very excited about this. I say to you coming soon because that's exactly what it's doing. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming soon. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming soon. If I can make it go down, because it's a little too big. There's the Psychic Lounge. The Psychic Lounge is coming soon. And I'm going to tell you about it. I've contemplated this long and hard, but I have officially been working on it for quite a bit. And yeah, and it will be here soon. So I wanted to put myself in a very uncomfortable position and let you all know that the Psychic Lounge is coming soon. If I could get this thing to do what I need it to do, yeah, if I can get it to do what it needs to do. But yeah, the Psychic Lounge is coming. It's coming really, really soon. And I'm going to talk about it here for just a moment and kind of give you some details. Yeah. So the Psychic Lounge is going to be a space where we can talk. We're going to be able to feel, explore, question, and open a space for a deeper intuitive conversation, right? It's not going to be over polished, not going to be a stiff place. It's going to be real energy, real conversations, real frequency, and real insight. Because there's so many more things that I want to say. But on platforms like this, you can't say. Well, you can, but, it's not the place. I want it to be for those who have the ears to hear and those who want to receive, where we can get together and we can really explore things, ask questions, talk, question things, and have some deeper intuitive conversations and share things with you all. So when you hear me say the Psychic Lounge, I want you to know that the door is going to be opening and it's going to be, listen, it's going to be a whole frequency. It's going to be a whole frequency. Yeah. So I want you all to know that it is coming. And I want you all to know. I want you to be the first to know that it is coming. And I'm going to have some special surprises. Well, I ain't going to say surprise. I'll have a special invitation for those who are a part of the Futuristic Activation Group. And so when we get closer to that time, I'll be able to share that with you all. And I'm going to let you know because I have a lot of things that I haven't completed that I need to complete. And I'll be honest with you, some of those things is not calling me anymore like they used to, but I will definitely let you know what those things are. Speaking of which, I'm almost done with the Aura Atlas reading, so I am going to come back. I know I said the next show was going to be that. I lied. I apologize, but I felt like this show was important to come on to give you, but the next official show will be the Aura Atlas show. I'm almost done with all of those for people who paid for them, and just wasn't in the first group, but they're in the second group, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for them to see their Aura Atlas readings, so they'll be able to take a look at them. And so here's another thing. I'll talk about it another time, because for now, the She Drips Fire is going to be tabled. And it's just because of some logistics and some cost right now. And there's some more research I need to do in that realm to get those things where they need to be. And so that's been the delay on that. Don't worry, liquid magic is still there. The oil is still there. All of that is still there. And I'm still going to be working on those. I just don't have an immediate date for when those things will come out. But I always want to keep full transparency with you guys. And I also want to share, because you guys are my chosen soul family, I want to share my excitement with you guys. But I also want to tell you something else that's coming. It's a little premature, but again, this is for me to walk the walk and talk the talk, and I'm going to put it out there. So a couple of things that's coming. I will have a book coming out. I'm hoping to get it out in 2025, but it may be 2026 before everything is completely done. But I am making good strides and headway in writing my book, and I'm just over the top. This has been years in the making, and I'm excited. I get emotional about it, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it to put it out there, to finish it, to put these things in a book and put it out in the world. So I'm excited for that, but that's a longer project. The book project, I'm not in a rush to do it. I've been working on it probably for more than 20 years. I have several books that I've been working on, but I finally really have, Dream Makers to Dreams to Reality. I actually did the class for 12 weeks prior to teaching the class, and then teaching the class, I was able to continue that stride. So I'm very, very excited for that. And then next, I have this. This is a collaboration project between me and Ms.Blue. And I have to say, many of you guys too, because so many of you have asked me for this and I have not done it. This is the first prototype. I don't know if it'll stay like this, but I'm actually coming out with soul sipping tea. And so me and Ms.Blue will have our own tea special blend of our own tea bag. This is going to be loose organic tea. And it's our proprietary blend that we have been working on and we've been using ourselves for a while. And it says, crafted to inspire soul awakening and to nourish your spirit. And this is what the packaging looks like, if it will let you see it. It's called Soul Sipping Tea. And I'm not sure if this is going to be the final iteration of the packaging. We have gotten the blend down, and but that's what I'm thinking there. So yeah, that's what's out there. Yeah, and I'm going to see it through. And lastly, here's the big one. My goal this year is to do 3 live activations. I will be announcing the cities of where those 3 live activations are coming. And I'm shaking as I'm saying it, not because I'm scared, but just a little bit of both. A little scared, a little excited. But I'm going to be doing 3 live activations. And here's the thing that I said I would put out. If you're open or if you want me to come to your city, it might be one that I can add on the tour list to go. Um, if you're interested in me coming to your city and you're willing to work with us to get that set up, then I want you to email me at questionforblue@gmail.com, but serious inquiries only. But I'm going to be going to 3 cities. I'm not going to announce the cities just yet, but if you guys say, hey, I know Ms.Blue, we can get, it's a large group of us here and we want you to come, then we can see about making that happen. But yes, your girl is officially going to be going on a tour. Going on a tour. Yes, Erica the T. Erica has been speaking to this about me for over probably 2 decades. We've been talking about this. This is a 2-decade-old project right here, this T. So I will let you all know once that gets closer. But those are the things that I have on my list. And it's a pretty big list, but not really. You're not a tea drinker. I love coffee, but I guess well, listen, you may be a tea drinker when you get this soul dripping tea. When you get this soul dripping tea, it's good for the body, it's good for the mind, it's good for the soul. Soul dripping tea. And it's got some good stuff in there. But I want you all to email me. This is not going to be something, I'm not going to take requests from chat. I really want those of you who are serious about it, because I would love to explore that. Love to explore it. Certainly would. Yes, indeedy. Yeah. So there you go. Soul sipping tea is coming. Something warm where you can do it warm or cold, intentional, soulful, and I also want it to be extremely beautiful. Oh, Maddie. Maddie said blue cella. Now you talking. Blue cella. I love the sound of that. Yeah. But I really, speaking about the soul sipping tea, you guys, I got a little excited. You know, this is really something I want, something warm, intentional, soulful, and beautiful. You know, it's tea, but it's also a moment to pause, a moment to go within, a ritual, you know, a way to kind of sit with yourself, to kind of come back to your body, because that's what it does for me, you know, to allow yourself to breathe, reflect, and to calm your nervous system. Because so much of this spiritual journey is not only about receiving messages, sometimes it's about having the space to integrate the message. And that allows you to do that. Soul sipping tea is created with that essence, you know, for you to be able to integrate, you know. Soul sipping tea is created with the essence. 1 cup, 1 breath, and 1 moment of the soul. That's the whole little commercial thing. I have to get that together. So now, this tour, this tour, oh, the blue blend. Yeah. This tour is really going to be, here's the thought, and it's going to change, but you all let me know. But here's the thought. The Psychic Lounge is going to be on the road. I'm literally going to take the Psychic Lounge on the road just to kind of give y'all the vibe of how this is going to be done. Yeah, over the next couple of months. And so I'm going to be making those few stops. They're going to be live activation, live energy, live connection, live frequency. And yes, I'm going to give you the details when the details are coming. But again, like I said, if some of you would love for me to stop by your city, let me know. Send me a message. Drop your city. Let the energy speak. We're going to be going where the current is flowing, you know? because sometimes a room is not only online. Sometimes a room becomes a city, and sometimes a portal becomes a place. A place. And sometimes people are meant to gather. Will feel the call before the details arrive. So I just want to kind of leave it at that. I can go on. Soul sipping tea at the Blue Cella. Well, we actually going to be in the Psychic Lounge. That's where we're going to be, in the Psychic Lounge. Yeah. So I want you all to know I love you all so much. And this is actually going to close out with this. And here's what I want you all to do. I want you to take a breath with me. Just take a breath. Just breathe in and release it. Yeah. Take me through there. Yeah. This Scorpio full moon, it's not asking you to become someone else. Sometimes that gets a little misconstrued. And it's not asking you to abandon your truth of who you know you already are. But it's on the contrary. It's asking you to stop abandoning the truth. The truth of who you know you already are. Let the old patterns complete. Let them finally be finished and done. Let it be complete. Allow your truth and emotions to rise. And let your body soften. And allow your soul to speak. And let love be the way you transform. So many times we've allowed punishment, pressure, or panic to transform us. This Scorpio full moon is really reflecting back this energy to us, to let love be the way you transform. Love. Love with boundaries. Love with honesty. Love with power. Love with clarity. And love with transformation. I want you to have your takeaways, and I'd love to hear your takeaway. I want you to remember one of the biggest, deepest transformation doesn't always have to begin with a dramatic ending. It doesn't. Allow this transformation for you to not end or begin with a dramatic ending. Sometimes it begins with one sacred sentence. I am ready to stop living beneath my knowing. I am ready to stop living beneath my knowing. I am ready to stop living beneath my knowing. Yeah. If you felt this message in your spirit, do me a favor. Type, I'm ready. And if you're listening after the live, put it in the comments. I'm ready. And then I also want you to kind of, just for some extra sparkle on here, drop your rising sign in the chat. I'm ready, and drop your rising sign. And I would love for you to tell me where this full moon, this activation is speaking to you. And so I want you to like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who's going through a transformation and needs language for what they are feeling. And remember, you're not falling apart. You're being shown what no longer belongs inside of your next being, your next beingness. That's what you're doing. You're being shown so profoundly what is inside, what is waiting for you, the power for you to claim in your next beingness. Oh my goodness. What a time to be alive. Are y'all going to say it with me? Growing up on planet Earth. What a time. What a time to be alive growing up on planet Earth. I love you all so much. I thank you all for being here. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Thank you all for being here. Peace and love, soul family. Peace and love. Ciao. Oh my goodness. Love you all so much. Thank you so much for putting your signs. Wow, I'm ready. Sagittarius rising. I'm ready. Cancer rising. Oh, we got to get some of these on the screen. We got to get some of these up here. Let's get some of these. Oh, yeah. Okay, Virgo rising. All right, we're going to get the replay. Well, I love you all so much. Let's have an amazing rest of the week. Definitely don't forget to like, subscribe, come back, hype this video up, pass it on, share it with a friend. And yeah, I love you all. Peace and love. Ciao.